Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Two teams will need their quarterbacks to step up and lead their offenses on the gridiron today. It's the Oilers going up against the Broncos. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Larry, we are at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, as you get a look at Sports Authority Field at Mile High. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Houston Oilers and the Denver Broncos. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. They come out here in the eye. Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
They stay on the ground. This is Marshall again. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
When Bobby Wagner's career is said and done, people are going to look back and say he was an absolute steal in the NFL draft. A Pro Bowl player for any team.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Now let's go. Green, 30.
On 3rd down, Lynch. And that is incomplete.
The days of knowing your assignment, dropping to it, and calling it a day, that's over with. Because now, when you drop into a zone, especially as a defensive back, you're seeing the play in front of you. So if a man wanders into your area, guess what? Now it goes from zone to man coverage in many cases. And on this particular play, able to see the play in front of him, react to it, and knock the ball away. Gotta like what you just saw there, if you like zone defense.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And when this offense is clicking on all cylinders, the running back is in sync as well.
The focal point. Runs, catches, blocks, sets the tone for the offense.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. And his throw is incomplete. And a look now at how the Broncos line up defensively.
A former first-round selection, Bradley Roby is comfortable whether covering in the slot or outside the numbers. And the Broncos go to a nickel set on 3rd down.
Yeah, they've got an extra DB out there. Throwing is Wilson. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. And they get 28 yards on that one. And that'll be good for a Houston first.
When you see a big-time run to the outside, it always comes back to setting the edge, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and they were perfect in setting the edge there.
And the funny part is, both sides of the ball talk about it. The offense has to set the edge so you can get outside. The defense wants to set the edge to control things so they can kick the run back inside.
Offense wins there.
Offense won big.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down at the 28. The offensive line and its ability to open holes in this defensive front, something they were confident they could create in this game. Got the job done there, picked up the first.
And something they wanted to do. Have we ever met offensive linemen that don't want to fire out and hit people? I mean, they love the running game. Guys want to do that. And when you emphasize it, practice it, and work on it, that gives you an opportunity during the game.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Now it's Wilson. This is caught. Watkins. And they do get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. On 2nd down, Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And it's 3rd down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. Defense may be thinking pass. They come out in the nickel on 3rd and goal. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. And it's good to make it 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a pretty slick return there as he's up just shy of the 45-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, get a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. On 1st and 10, it's Lynch. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
There's completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
On 1st down, it's Lynch. Fuller brings it in over the middle. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits, and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Now Lynch. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
The catch, deservedly so, is going to get a lot of credit, but even more so because there's a defender there ready to make a play.
Yeah, just flat out muscled on that one.
Here we go. 3-19.
Throwing here, Lynch on first down. He's got Fuller, and he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Here's Lynch to the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. And the 8th play on this drive coming up.
All right, now look at 56. Look at 56. Detroit. All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Mike, 56 right there.
Here's Lynch to throw. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. And the sack leads to roughly a loss of 6, and it brings up 2nd and goal. They come out here in the eye. So 2nd and goal here from the 9. This is Marshall. Oh, he shifts past him. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Partner, we're into the 2nd quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you've got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
Now from back at the 9 after that last play, this is 3rd and goal.
Now let's go.
Lynch with it on 3rd and goal. It's complete to Fuller. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And this one is right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. And Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points.
Now a hit and a loose football. And this will be scooped up by the defense. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Wilson looking middle, and it's incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Second down following the incompletion. Second and 10. It's Wilson again. And this is incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
The out route's such a timing route that sometimes the guy throwing the ball just throws it almost blindly, just kind of counts on that timing winning. And in this case, the ball was batted away.
Here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Here's Wilson. And this is caught by Watkins. He got 29 yards that time. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
A stampede of Broncos there that time combined to get him down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2, and that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
On 2nd down, Wilson. Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Brandon, more and more offenses are going to the philosophy of using every inch of the field to try and spread things out. And when you're running back and catch the ball as well, that can only help your offense.
Here comes the D swarming to the line. They come out here in the I. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. A group of Broncos there combined to bring him down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First-level defensive line, second-level linebackers, third-level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Shane Ray in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did. 9th
play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. And they'll run it here. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. This will be a 34-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point. So no problems converting there.
And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe back.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
On 1st and 10, it's Lynch. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Lynch looking to throw on second. Fuller brings it in over the middle. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when the screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over, but he ended up finding another receiver.
They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
And he will find his man on the end route, complete. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. 1 minute, 53 ticks left to go in this first half. Back to Denver right after this. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this up only to about the 22. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. Now a handoff working right. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. And down he'll go at the 25. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Here's Lynch. It's complete to Fuller. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs.
All right, here we go. Leopard! Let's go now. To 319. Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Gone, gone. Gone, gone now. 319. Leopard. 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 Leopard.
From the red zone now, here's Lynch on first down. Looking for someone to throw to. Eluding the pressure right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10.
Here we go now.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Lynch. Flushed out right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down. On 3rd down, Lynch shakes off the sack, and he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Lawrence Virgil able to drop him for a loss of 12, and it'll be 4th down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. So the long field goal attempt winds up awry, and we have reached the intermission. As we send you on down to our studios in Orlando, where standing by is Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. And now out comes Houston. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And he's got Moncrief. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. A handoff as they run the counter play. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41. And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
10-yard penalty there on first down, so now 1st and 20. They come out here in the eye. Here's Wilson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's got this one just across midfield to the 49. A good positive play there, 9 yards, but still 3rd and long. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Wilson. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, landing. Blue.
On 2nd down, Lynch. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Throwing here, Lynch on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
He's got his man on the crossing route. Give him 11 on the gain there, and it'll give the Broncos a 1st down. And the offense lining up 1st and 10.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath. Sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can he?
Yeah, he can indeed. And pretty well executed there. And did he get the feet down? No. They'll say he did not. It's incomplete. So 2nd and 10 here.
Here we go.
2nd and 10 now. It's Lynch. And he's going to be taken down here. Back across midfield, 3 yards away from midfield at the 47.
Partner, I know the ball security's preached like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does it do if it was 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and much longer as it is now?
Yeah, it changes everything in terms of play calling and the pressure you might expect to face on the very next down.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Decent chunk of yardage still left here. 2nd and 7. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Now Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And that'll bring up 4th down on a big sack with a loss of 5. Here's Brad Nordman now as he's on to punt for Houston. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
And taken right at the 35. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Everyone's got 4 down. All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On 2nd down, here's Lynch. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defender's going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one.
He's going to look deep down the field. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They come out here in the eye. Now a handoff here to his running back. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That's a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. And ready now for 2nd and 9. Now Wilson on 2nd down. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Back now at the home of the champs, Sports Authority Field in Denver, as we're about ready to rock and roll for the 4th and final quarter. And the D looking like they may blitz. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
So the D-line's going to spread out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And this defense looks for one more stop here on 3rd after the run. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. On 3rd down, Wilson. And he's going to go down. Back across midfield, he's sacked at the 46. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And coming out now, the Broncos. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Second down now after the pass completion. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
All right, here we go.
Lynch looking to throw on 2nd. Oh, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his 2nd there. Well, he just threw an interception last drive, nearly another pick.
And things aren't very even right now, are they? It's a little bit sloppy out there, isn't it? It's kind of the difference between driving on those paved roads And those country roads that have those potholes in them, isn't it? 'Cause that's the way this game's going right now. A lot of bouncy bounce to it.
You spent some time on some Tennessee country
I
roads.
certainly have. Plenty of family back there. God love them.
And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run. Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Second and 10, it's Lynch again. He's got Fuller. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
They'll get 16 yards there, and it'll be first down Denver.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Lynch to throw. His throw caught right around the 6. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Will Fuller, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And last time out they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up. But you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. They'll come out in the pistol. On 2nd down, Wilson. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. Third down now following the completed pass. Now they'll run it on the toss. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. A big-time sack there on 4th down. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. So the Broncos coming out now. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Now Lynch throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. First down and goal to go from the 7. They'll run with Marshall. That gets them 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Let's go.
And here's Marshall. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Keith Marshall with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Broncos have taken the lead.
Did you see them hold up 4 fingers to the start of the 4th quarter?
They were ready.
They were definitely ready. They may or may not have done that, but they certainly have played that way. The 4th quarter has belonged to them, and now the lead belongs to them as well.
This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. He's back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. Back to throw. And he finds a man on the crossing route. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be in this.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They have the lead, still a 1-possession game, but the defense got to stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know, they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off, and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Now here's a timeout coming on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. 2nd down and 4. Now Marshall. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles, and really the difference, obviously, was that fourth quarter. They dominated.
And it has to start with believing that you can make that comeback. Because we've been in games before. We've done games where you can just look at one team and realize they have no chance of making it back. Not in the one we just saw here. They did it, and they did it well.
So for Denver, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Denver.